Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Pirate Nation. For those of you that are interested, Pirate Nation is making some news at the moment, specifically because of their founders, pirates, over on OpenSea. The floor has just hit 0.5 ETH, and there's a lot of stuff that's coming up in the near future. They're launching on a new chain. They've got their token, which is definitely becoming sought after. There's a lot of talk about airdrops, and there's just a lot of really good stuff happening. I had a conversation quite some time ago when I was involved with Sunflower Land with the founders, and really love what they're building and how they're building it, the fully on-chain game, and how they're kind of approaching the web3 space. It's really cool, and they're doing some really good stuff, so it's worth checking out. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is talk to you about how you can get hold of PGLD if you're interested. Now, this is a 100% degen play. I don't recommend doing this unless you're willing to gamble. But if you are and you think that this could be something in the future, then it could be a good opportunity. But bear in mind, it's going to cost you. And the reason for that is liquidity is low, which means slippage is high. And also, if you have to get money out of Ethereum, you're going to get spanked with gas fees. But with that being said, let's jump straight into this. So right now, the process I'm going to take you through is how I do my research and then how I actually do the transactions. I've had a lot of people recently asking me, how do I use a DEX? How do I research? How do I know what to buy? So I'm going to show you. So if you've been looking and you've seen the news around Pirate Nation, then this is where you'll obviously come to. But before you get to here, you're going to end up going to their Discord. I always recommend going to the official Discord of whatever the project is you're looking at and going straight to the official links. Every single decent project will have an official links channel where you'll be able to click on things like the docs. From the docs, you'll be able to see anything important like contract addresses. Now, this one is quite hidden. You'll have to come down to contracts. And then because they're a fully on-chain game, there are hundreds of contracts. Hundreds of contracts. The one we're looking for specifically is gold. Gold being their token. And without wasting your time, if you go through the docs and understand how everything works, then you'll understand there are a couple of tokens. If you have a founding pirate from before a certain date, then you can get gold or PGLD. Otherwise, you're going to get something called mark. I'm not going to go into the details of that. You can look into that. But this is what we're looking for, this contract address, right? So we're going to click on this, open it up, and we're going to grab this token address right here. And then we're going to close this down. We don't need anything else here. We're then going to go across to anything like DEX Screener or even CoinGecko. We can go into here as well. So if we go into CoinGecko and we type in that contract address, it's going to show us where all of the liquidity is. Now, at the moment, there is only one liquidity pool. The reason for this, it's not on a centralized exchange. There's no over-the-counter deal that you're going to be able to do. There's no pre-seed or anything that I'm aware of. Maybe there is, and I'm not in a know right now. But if you want to be able to trade this, you need to trade it with people that are earning it within the game. So that being said, the only liquidity pool that's been set up by players at the moment is this. Well, there's a few, but this is the biggest one. So we can click on this, and it's going to open it up for us in the Gecko terminal, and then we can have a look. We can also do the same thing on DEX Screener. We can type the contract address in, and we can have a look at it here as well. And you can see who's been buying and who's been selling. You can see I've been buying quite a lot of this at the moment. The last purchase I made was for 5,000, and that was from this account here. So just to show you in real time, you can see it in here. That was that 155,000 that I bought. There was another one here. That was only 5,000 that I bought there. There's more. Yeah, there's lots of them. You just have to go through and find them. But yeah, I've been scooping up quite a considerable amount of this, and I'm still putting it into other wallets as well. So I just thought it was a good opportunity to do this video and to talk you through it. So now I've opened this up. I'm having a look here. I can see, obviously, the token down here. I started buying it. When I was buying it down here at 0.002. As you can see, we had a few God candles here. Then somebody else started buying it with me. I think they saw what was happening. And so there was a bit of a compete going on here up to 0.4 or 0.004. Let it calm down a bit. Brought it right back down to 0.3 or 0.003. Started to buy again. And then my last buy was here at 0.0035. And that's all I've done at the moment. So with that being said, once you're happy and you understand this, you need to know where you're going to buy it from. So on here in the Gecko terminal, it's pretty good. It shows you where it is. It's on the chain Arbitrum Nova, and it's done via SushiSwap v3. So what we can do is we can close down the Discord, close down the contracts. We've done all of that now, and we can come across to SushiSwap. In the top here, we can open up all of the different networks that are available. Now, it's a layer 2 from Ethereum. So Ethereum being your top layer network, you'll need to go into Arbitrum Nova. The only problem is you're not going to have any tokens in here. So what you're going to need to do is swap it from Ethereum to Nova. And you can do that through the Arbitrum bridge. So bridge.arbitrum.io. If you go to this website, bridge.arbitrum.io. Now we're going to go from Ethereum into Arbitrum Nova. And you can choose your ETH. You can send it across. You're going to pay some gas, of course, because it's Ethereum and yay ETH. But you're going to get it into Arbitrum Nova that way. Once that's done and that's complete, and it takes a few minutes to show up, you'll be able to go into your MetaMask account and you'll be able to click up here and choose Arbitrum Nova because you'll have funds. It will show up, or you can just click Add Network and you'll be able to add it here. It will show up, or you can add it manually, but you'll be able to see it. It should show up. So once that's done, you'll have your Ethereum. All you need to do is come back to SushiSwap, change the network so you're on Arbitrum Nova, and then you'll be able to choose. So you'll be able to say point. I haven't got much left in here right now, but just to give you an example, 0.01, select a token, and you're going to type in that contract address. And that contract address, if you're on the right network, is what's going to bring up. Let me just have a quick check why it's not showing up at the moment. Arbitrum Nova, I am on the right one. Let me just refresh this. Give me 1 second. It should be showing up. I am on the right network. So we've got it into Arbitrum Nova. We're in the right place. For some reason, I don't know why it's not loading up the network. Let me just give me 1 sec. Let me just swap back across and come here and see if we can figure this out. Give me 1 second to do this. If it doesn't work from app.sushi.com, you can do it from sushi.com/swap. It also works from here. We're just going to switch networks, come back. So here you go. I'm on sushi.com/swap. All right. And it's for some reason switched back to Ethereum. So it's probably because I've got it open in a couple of windows. So let's go to Arbitrum Nova, which is what I want to click on. Just refresh the screen and see if we can get this to work again. It's been a little bit funky. All right. Now we're on there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is select the token that I want. So that one, I'm going to put in that contract address, and there it is. We can see it, and it will say add. All right, so there's PGLD. We know it's the right token. We've checked the address, so we know it's here. So now I can just simply choose the ETH I've got in this contract address and how much I want. Now, this is where you're going to see the price impact, and this is where it's going to hurt because this is where you're going to end up with slippage, specifically if you want to buy a decent amount of this. If you want to trade maybe like 2 or 3 ETH of this, or you want to do a few $1,000s, you're going to really struggle at the moment. Now, the reason you do this at this stage is if you believe that Pirate Nation is a game that's going to go places, and later on, pretty much like what we've seen with a lot of other, like if you look at things like Mavia, if you look at things like Pixels, if you look at these games and you think, oh, what's next? Where am I going to get in early? This is how you get in early. You get in early by either buying the tokens through a SAFT agreement, a sale of future tokens from the project founders themselves. And to do that, you'd normally have to buy $50,000 to $100,000 worth normally. $50,000 would normally be minimum. You can normally do deals, but ultimately you're going to be putting about $50,000 in. So if you're not in a place to do that, and you're not able to do those pre-seed or pre-IDO agreements with the founders, then you're going to, and for that, by the way, you'd have to be KYC'd, you'd have to go through a whole process, and it's going to, you're going to be an investor at that point, a proper investor, not just a speculative gambler. And so when you do that, you're not going to have to worry about liquidity. You're just going to get those tokens sent to you, but there'll probably be a vesting period. Tokens will probably be locked because they'll want to protect the network and the chain. So what you need to consider is if you don't have that opportunity, or you can't do that, or don't want to do that, this is the next best way to do it, is to find a token and buy it, and just be very aware of price impact. So to do this, you're probably going to want a DCA, and you're going to want to buy at a point. Now, it doesn't matter if I buy 0.005 or 0.1, I'm going to pay the same slippage, 0.2. It's pretty much the same slippage regardless. It's a little bit more each time, but it, whatever. Up to a point when I get here, and I'm still paying like 3% slippage on here. If I actually went to do like, I know I don't have an ETH in here, but if I was to do like an ETH, I'm going to lose 20% of that ETH. So you just need to bear that in mind, that the price impact really does start to hurt you as you start to go big. And it's not even massive, but if you want to start doing things like this is where it's going to really start like kicking. And that's always going to be a problem here. You're always going to suffer from this. Even half an ETH, you're going to lose 10%. You know, you come back down here, you're going to lose 6%. So yeah, that's just something you're going to have to consider. It's something that's going to hurt you, but you're going to have to deal with it. And the idea is, what you're hoping is whatever you lose on slippage and gas and everything else, you're going to make up if the token goes to the moon. And who knows? You'd have to look at the tokenomics. You know, I'm not going to go into all of that. I'm not showing you like why I'm choosing this token. I've got my reasons for it. I'm showing you how to acquire it, because this is the same for pretty much any token that's not available anywhere else at the moment, where you have to do it like this. So now you've got your token's in your wallet. You can see it by clicking up on your MetaMask. You can see it in your balance there, and that's it. You just hold it, cross your fingers, and hope for luck. Keep an eye on the trades, and at a point when you're comfortable, you can go ahead and sell it. I would probably be waiting at this stage for some form of a listing, because that's probably the point at when most of convenient retail will come in. It's a good time to get out at that point, at which point you might even be seeing the token at like 10 cents, 20 cents, may even be up to like 30 or 40 cents on launch. And so if you're buying it at sort of 0.004 right now, and it goes up to like 20 or 30 cents even, you're making, really good money on that, And so that's how you're going to 100x these kind of tokens. Now, again, might not happen, never know. It is a risk, it's a gamble. But if it does happen, then these little God candles that you see here will mean nothing at a point when it actually does get up. If you imagine, now I just want you to imagine we get a decent token launch, and this sort of token launches somewhere around the 30-cent mark. You're looking at something like 10,000% ROI. So that's just to give you an idea of like these kind of opportunities, which are 100% very high risk, degenerate gambles, but ones that if they pay off, you're going to be laughing as a result of them. And that's how you'll acquire them and how you'll do it. So hopefully that helps. You might also just want to buy it and use it within the game. That's another reason for having it there. If you don't want to hold the NFTs and you rather hold tokens, then there's just an opportunity for you there. So I'm not recommending this. Obviously, I've bought it myself. I don't recommend you do it. There's no liquidity left. I've taken it all. But that being said, just keep your eye on opportunities like this. They are out there, and they're ones that can really change your portfolio if you get it right.